Hello and welcome folks, Wizuko here, and times had been rough, so let's take it easy and do another Pokemon video. Recently, a new Pokemon game dropped, and it's a MOBA, so not only a new Pokemon spin-off, but also a new genre added to the Pokemon repertoire. That's usually not really my kind of games, to be honest, because my social anxiety kicks in by the thought alone to play with other people. But since it's Pokemon, I wanted to give it a chance. And you know what? It's great fun. I love it. If only the game had a few more Pokemon to choose from. I mean, yeah, probably it's too soon to start winning more Pokemon and all, but you know what? I'm obsessed with this game at the moment, and I want to fantasize more about Pokemon. The franchise is filled to the brim with amazing Pokemon after all, and of course, it would be awesome to get all of them. But we all know that's not gonna happen anytime soon, so join me to dream about the Pokemon I hope for the most. And don't forget to let me know which Pokemon you want to come up next in Pokemon Unite. Glade. I kind of feel like this one is self-explanatory. I mean, we already have Gardevoir, so we know that the design and body shape would fit very well into the game. Besides that, Glade is not only a very popular Pokemon, but also known to be quite strong. Which is why I would imagine him to be an all-rounder type of character, with a rather similar moveset to Lucario. They do share the fighting type and a similar body shape, and also quite some similarities stat-wise. On the other hand, Glade's special attack is much weaker, while special defense is much higher than Lucario's. So maybe a defenser would make even more sense than an all-rounder? I mean, if we look at Gardevoir's perspective as an attacker, maybe we could play on that and reverse that for Glade into a defenser to make this image of the attacker and defenser working together, kind of like opposites. I would like Glade to dress up as a prince or a knight with some hollow-wear, while Gardevoir would get a fitting princess dress. I'd eat that up. For his ultimate attack, I'd like to see something with AoE damage. Maybe have him attack mainly with fighting type moves, but then let him kick in his psychic ultra move. Well, that's what I'd like to see anyway. Decidueye. Decidueye would clearly be an attacker with wide range, much like Greninja. I don't think anyone is going to disagree on that, right? And I bet I'm not the only one who actually expected Decidueye to be playable in Pokemon Unite. He was, after all, playable in Pokkén, and he had been a decently popular pick after all. Not only design-wise, even though, I mean, just look at him. He is the definition of Ranger. The design screams MOBA, but also because of his bow and arrow-like attacks. We don't have that yet. He could easily wear all kind of stealthy clothes, but it doesn't even need to be so complicated. Situai has, in my opinion, one of the best shinies ever, after all. You just have to love it. So when it comes to holo wear, I think you can go for that. Lastly, for his ultimate attack, I'm a little torn. I could imagine a super powerful arrow, much like the solar beam attack from the game, but that's the thing. We already have that, so maybe a ghost type attack, much like in Pokkén, would make the character more interesting? Not sure on that one. What do you say? Lepani. Okay, hear me out on this one. When I was younger, I really wanted to have a pet rabbit. I never got one though. Instead, I got a figurine of Bunnies, and I loved it. I love the feminine design, and the evolution looks super pretty. If you don't Google it, that is. So please don't. Shelter your innocent eyes from what you'll find. However, I can see that as a sign that Lepani is pretty popular actually. I mean, she even got a cool mega after all, so I'll take that as a win nonetheless. Besides, it might sound weird, but I feel like Lepani is a very nice feminine pick, which I think we could use one more of. A speedster or attacker would fit her perfectly. And for holo wear, I actually think Lepani can wear it all. Wrestling gear? Nice. Dress? Awesome. A whole bunch of ribbons and a flower at the ear? Gorgeous. See? She can wear it all. For the ultimate attack? Well, no idea really, but a fast close combat attack would fit for sure. Colossal. My hometown has a proud, but also kinda dark history regarding coal mines. Coal mines were what put my home on the map. So Roly-Coly immediately hit a soft spot for me. I love the idea and design behind it. When I first got one in Pokemon Sword and Shield, I fell in love with the types and attacks. And being able to roll around the map as Roly-Coly would be hilarious. I think I would pick him for that fun alone. Since Colossal is not really fast, and I mean like at all, I think the defender role would suit him best. For Holoware though, I'm out of ideas, so help me out if you have one, okay? For his ultimate attack, only an AoE fire attack does it for me. After all, the signature move for Colossal is to burn out, so let everything around him burn. Burn everything down for me, Colossal.
Yeah, brilliant!
Hexorus. One of the most iconic dragon Pokemon for me is Axew. He is cute, just super cute. He was in the anime quite a lot, and again, he is just so cute and full of personality. And then when he evolves into Hexorus, he is also very powerful. So naturally, he would be a brilliant choice for a Pokemon Unity all-rounder or attacker. He is decently fast and over-average strong, so that works in my books. For Holoware, I had this idea of a lumberjack outfit, and I think that would look really sweet. And since the whole X story going on in his face would really fit the lumberjack theme, I hope someone at some point does fan art out of that idea. The ultimate attack is tricky, however. I personally love AoE attacks, but I don't think that an AoE attack would really fit the bill here. But looking at his stats, I don't think a speedy one does it for me either. So it's got to be a close combat hitter that will stun the enemy at best or annihilate him at worst. Nidoking or Nidoqueen. For me, you cannot separate these two, so they share a spot. They could be like the counter to God of War and Glade, or they can just be their own thing. They are both very powerful, and unlike God of War and Glade, not so different from another. They still have the same types, and when it comes to the stats, I think they are very similar to each other too. Still, as a gimmick, I think they would be very cool to play. Just imagine playing with a special friend as his or her king to their Nido. Holoware could be partner costumes, much like I mentioned earlier, even though I must admit that I could see Nidoqueen go rather for a Valkyrie-inspired costume instead of a princess dress too. And Nidoking, instead of being a prince, rather a mafia boss. As for the ultimate attack, I again would think an AoE Earthquake-inspired attack would do their lore justice. It is their signature move after all. Vileplume. I think Oddish is cute. It might look to you like a blob with spooky red eyes and some leaves on top of it. And don't get me wrong, that's the way I see Oddish too, but I love it for that. You go, Oddish! Be the positive little fella you are. And when you evolve, become the greatest supporter in Pokemon Unity we all know you can be. I think Vileplume would look very weird in every Holoware I can imagine. Kinda don't want anyone to put any kind of clothes on Vileplume. That would just look weird, okay? Or at least that's what it's like in my mind. So if you have any ideas, please try to convince me. Anyway, regarding the ultimate attack, however, I know that it needs to be an AoE attack with debuffs for the enemy. This flower is vile after all, and its enemies shall fear it for that. Scizor. What's red and cool and spiky exactly? Scizor! And that strong fella would make such a great all-rounder a la Machamp. The design is sleek, the popularity is top, and we could really use a cool bug type in Pokemon Unity. Sorry, Crustle, but I just think Scizor is cooler. And he would wear some cool Hawaiian shirts as Holoware. But I had that picture in my head with Scizor wearing a Christmas outfit, like Santa. And our would love that. I don't know why I had this idea or what inspired that in the middle of August, but you can't tell me that you don't love it, right? Scizor is kinda the special signature move for Scizor, so I would say that shall be the inspiration for the ultimate attack. But how they'd like to translate that can be very different. You could do a bash forward and slash attack kind of thing, which I'd personally find the most fitting. But a speedy zigzag-like attack like Pikachu does, for example, would work just as well for me. Shifttray. Similar to Decidueye, I like Shiftray's aesthetic. So stealthy and mysterious, I love it. And I think that Pokemon Unity could really use that aesthetic a lot. It would give the game an edgy charm, but not too edgy. You know, just a hint. I love the lore behind Shifttray. I mean, not love, since the lore is kinda creepy and unsettling, but the transition from inspiration source to Pokemon is just great, I think. It's a very, very good example. It's still creepy enough to stand out, but not too creepy for a Pokemon. Just great. And since the Tengu, the being Shifttray is based on, originates from Japanese lore, all kinds of traditional Japanese clothing would fit Shiftray's holowear. For the ultimate attack, I hope he'd get some kind of hurricane-inspired one or tornado-inspired one. Just imagine him jumping, bashing, and sprinting through the air. I mean, he might not be a flying type, but I always thought that the flying type moves which he can learn, and which also, by the way, are inspired from the Tengu origin story, made Shifttray stand out from other grass types. Swampert. Last but not least, you knew it was coming. Mudkip is my absolute favorite Pokemon, and I demand him to be next up in Pokemon Unity. He's just so perfect. He is a starter, he is powerful, the types are amazing. You name it, there is no downside to Swampert. And no, you won't convince me any other ways anyway. His design is perfect as a Pokemon Unity contestant. I mean, what would he not be perfect for after all? I can already imagine him as a slow defender or attacker. He would wear shirts, jackets. I can really imagine it. That would be so cute. You know what? Here, have sunglasses. You see? What a cool guy. Don't you just want him in your game? For his ultimate, you could go for an AoE Surfer or Earthquake inspired attack. Both attacks are very common for Swampert, especially Surfer, because, you know, Hoenn has too much water after all. And of course, you could also go for a close combat fist attack powered with either earth or water. And honestly, both would be super cool. And Swampert does learn some fist attacks, if I could collect them under that term. Oh, I think I'm just lost daydreaming now. I could go on and on. I was just thinking about adding Altaria, Onix, and so many more. But a video needs an end, and you guys need some Pokemon left for your own lists after all. So thank you for watching. I look forward to read your wish lists. A new video is going to be up next Wednesday, and I hope to see you there. Until then, have it good. Bye!